Magandang umaga! One of the first sounds na natututunang sabihin ng mga baby ay ang sound. So as early as 6 months old, mapapansin na natin na pwede na silang magbabble ng or mag-humming lang on their own like Or by 1 to 2 years old, nagagamit na nila ito in single syllables, either consonant and vowel like ma, or in vowel and consonant like am. So kung napapansin nyo na yung baby nyo hindi pa nagagawa ang sounds by these milestones, I'm going to give you tips kung paano nyo ito mahuhugot sa kanila on a daily basis. Tara, usap tayo. Let's get talking. Hello, I'm Teacher Kaye and I'm a certified speech language pathologist. Doon sa video ko titled Bulol, pinakita ko sa inyo kung paano nyo mahahanap kung ano yung speech sounds na nahihirapan yung mga anak ninyo. So continuation ito, as promised, iisa-isahin ko lahat ng speech sounds to give you tips kung paano ito magagawa ng mga baby nyo. Lahat ng ibibigay kong tips ay pwede nyong i-apply whether yung baby nyo hindi pa talaga magawa yung speech sound at gusto nyo silang tulungan to explore it, or dun sa mga baby na nasasabi na in isolation yung sound, pero kapag nasa syllable level na or nasa word level na, either nawawala ito, hindi nila sinasabi, imbis na masabi nila for example ay mama, ang nasasabi lang nila ay aa, or nasa-substitute nila ang ibang sound for So, imbis na mama, nagiging nyanya. But of course, we start from the very beginning. Tandaan na hindi nila mapoproduce ang sound in a word or in a syllable kung ni minsan hindi pa nila nagagawa on its own. So, let's start. Ano ba ang step-by-step ng making the M sound? First of all, dapat naka-close or naka-seal ang lips, meaning dapat walang hangin na lalabas dyan kapag nag-start na kayong mag-vocalize. Vocalize is just like turning on your voice at mararamdaman yan kapag linagay natin yung kamay natin sa throat kasi parang makakaramdam tayo ng vibration, parang makina. Nagva-vibrate siya. So, kung nakaseal ang lips at walang air na lalabas sa bibig, saan lumalabas ang air? Sa ilong. Kaya kung hawakan nyo rin ang ilong nyo, makakaramdam din kayo ng vibrations dyan. Kasi dyan lumalabas ang hangin dapat for an sound. So, it sounds easy for us kasi napaka-natural na sa atin yung paggawa ng sound. Basta maisip natin, on command, yung brain natin, isi-send na lahat ng signals. Pero sa isang batang nahihirapan, it could mean having to break down the steps. So, kunwari, hindi magawa nung anak nyo yung sound, it could be because hindi tama yung lip closure nila, baka may lumalabas na hangin, or hindi nila ma-press yung lips nila together, hindi nila maalalang i-close ito, or hindi nila ma-turn on yung boses nila. And always when we're trying to teach something, ano bang unang kailangan? Dapat they are paying attention to us. So when we are going to do an activity like imitation activities, dapat sure kayo na nakatingin sila sa inyo. For older children na meron ng awareness of joint attention, like kung titingin kayo sa mirror together, you may want to do mirror work as well. Now, let's talk about some of the problems na I-encounter ko with children na nahihirapan sa sound. So, if they can't close their lips, una, alamin natin, is it because hindi lang sila aware kung nasaan yung lips nila? So, what you can do is kapag nakatingin sila sa'yo, kunin nyo yung kamay nila, kamay ng baby, tapos ilapit nyo, sabi nyo, tapos i-run mo yung fingers nila sa lips mo. Para lang alam nila na, oh, okay, mommy is indicating na kailangan nakasara ang lips. And then with their hand, ilagay mo naman sa bibig nila. Tapos iganon mo rin para ma-feel nila, oh, yun ang lips ni mommy and this time, lips ko naman. And then if you want to have them feel what it means to close their lips, you can very lightly put your fingers in this position. Tapos, light touch lang. Very lightly, make sure hindi nyo makukurot yung lips nila. Now for cases like baka merong structural issues yung jaw or yung mouth. For example, nakikita nyo na parang at rest, nagdo-droop yung bibig or muscles ng face. Kaya minsan may tendency din makikita nyo baka naglalaway. Then baka there is something to do with muscular tone kung bakit nahihirapan si baby i-close ang lips. But I'll try to talk about that some other time. Now what if ang hindi mako-coordinate nung bata ay yung pag-turn on ng voice? Pero napapansin nyo na nakakagawa sila ng sounds. So the tip is transitioning from turning on the voice with an and slowly closing. And then magre-redirect naturally yung air through the nose and it should create a sound. If ang problem is lip closure and napapansin nyo na kahit i-close nila or they start from a closing position, eventually nagkakakonting butas, you can try to show them na dapat nga walang air na lumalabas through the mouth. So while they're doing you can put their hands in front of the mouth para ma-feel nila, uy, may hangin doon ah. Pero kapag si mommy yung gumagawa, so with their hand, ilapit mo sa bibig mo, walang air na nanggagaling sa mouth. Is actually one of the really easy things to elicit from babies. Kasi some of these sounds are very basic. We make these when we're eating. Like, yummy. So, ang dali-daling ipasok sa mga everyday functional activities. If nahihirapan talaga kayo to make your child close their lips, another tip I have na na-try ko na and it works somehow is putting a little bit of child-safe lip balm sa kanilang lips. Kasi once you put this, meron talagang natural tendency to do this. Kapag nagawa na nila yon, give an excited reaction like, yes! That's close lips to make them aware. Now that you know the steps, how do you make it fun for your baby? You can turn it into an imitation turn-taking activity. So una, again, you have to have their attention and you may opt to use a mirror. But the activity is you start by doing some silly, funny things na mapapatawa siya na kailangan niyang gawin. Tapos you take turns doing it. So for example, sisimulan mo lang, tapos, ipo-point mo, your turn. Tapos, tatry naman niyang gayahin yung action. Once ma-establish nyo yung routine na, oh, may gagawin si mommy, tapos gagayahin ko, that's when we can start introducing yung mga elicitation for, If your baby is in the babbling stage, you can just do, tapos siya naman, And then next, you can do syllables, ma, mu, mu. And you get the picture. When you're playing naman with a doll or anything na pwedeng kumain like a bear, you can do lots of sounds. Nasa harap nyo si baby, pwedeng kayong tatlo. Kunyari, papakainin nyo si baby. So, there's turn-taking and directions also. Kunyari, ako muna, kain tayo mansanas. Si bear naman pakainin natin. O, ikaw naman. And see if gagawa rin sila ng sounds. And ang dami-daming pwede nyong gamiting sounds like yum, yum, yummy, tummy. For older children na meron ng receptive vocabulary for things around the house, gawa po kayo ng word list na merong Some examples of the early words na natututunan nila with a sound are monkey, milk, moon, manika, and so on. And like I have shown you in all my other videos, when you're trying to model the target, kung hindi nila masabi, let's say yung in the word, for example, they say yummy instead of yummy, just immediately tell them yummy and then do all the steps that you think they need so that they remember to close their lips and to turn on their voice. So when you're doing these activities together, make sure to be observant of their reactions and their frustration level. Kasi kung masyadong paulit-ulit and hindi nila nakukuha yung mga cues na ginagawa nyo, tapos nakikita nyo naiinis na sila, we don't want to discourage them trying, so that just means move on na muna tayo. Next time na ulit. So kung napapansin nyo na mga 3.5 years old na yung anak nyo at nahihirapan pa sila with a sound, you might have to contact and be assessed by a professional to see if it is already something structural or neurological. But I hope that the tips that I gave you now are helpful. If you have any questions, pwede nyo po akong i-contact sa aking Facebook and Instagram at Teacher Kaye Talks. And if you found this helpful pero hindi pa kayo nagsusubscribe, I would really appreciate it if you could click that red button para mag-subscribe na po. At hanggang sa muli, happy talking and mabuhay!